Hello everybody, Cryptic Homemaker here, and today I am reviewing The Green Witch by Arin Murphy-Hiscock. This book was a bit of a impulse purchase. Me and my mother were doing the rounds in Walmart. The book section was the last section we checked out, and I saw this on the shelf. It was the last little book in its area. It was 30% off, and I thought, that looks like the book for me right now. I have always been interested in witchcraft or that kind of metaphysical, nature-loving spirituality. I'm not religious at all. I don't believe in a god or a deity, but I always found this kind of thing intriguing. That kind of nature-loving, good-spirited, helping yourself and the world kind of thing, for lack of a better word. So to let you know a bit more about what the book is about, let me read you the description. All natural magic. The Green Witch is a naturalist, a herbalist, a wise woman, and a healer. She embraces the power of nature. She draws energy from the earth and the universe. She relies on natural objects like stones and gems to commune with the land. She uses plants, flowers, oils, and herbs for healing. She calls on nature for guidance, and she respects every living being, no matter how small. The Green Witch guides you on this path, from how to use herbs, plants, and flowers to make potions and oils for everyday healing, to how crystals, gems, stones, and even twigs can help you find balance within. You'll discover how to find harmony in the earth's great elements and connect your soul to every living creature. This guide also contains directions for mixing herbal blends and potions, ritual suggestions, recipes for sacred food, and information on how to listen and commune with nature. Embrace the world of the Green Witch and discover what the power of nature has in store for you. So this book really spoke to me. Those are all things I'm very interested in and never really pursued. But after reading this book, I feel it's way more reasonable of a lifestyle to try and achieve. The last couple of years, I've really wanted to start living a more natural, a more sustainable, more earth-loving life, and this book gave me all the tools I felt I needed and was missing to be able to do that. So the first part of the book talks all about what being a Green Witch is. It talks about embracing your own power, which talks about how energy in the body works, things you use as a Green Witch if you choose, finding sacred places in your home for yourself, and the things you want to do in regards to your craft with nature. It talks a lot about, as well, grounding yourself in nature, falling in love with nature, understanding it, becoming one with it, that kind of stuff. I can't really describe any of it to you, so you're definitely going to have to get the book if you're curious, but I have to say, it really inspired me to be a better person. It really, made me feel like I had the power to better myself and start walking the path that I feel is best for me. Even if it isn't, the exact thing that the book says, I feel like I will be able to start going down the path that works for me. And that's kind of what the book says. It's like every Green Witch is different. Some witches are more in tune with just nature. Some use technology. It's a big part of finding the balance with both because, technology, urban landscape, those are things we can't really escape. So you have to learn how to combine the two things, is what she talks a lot about in the first couple of chapters. You can't help if you live on the 26th floor in New York, but you can have plants there, and you can compost there, and you can do all these little things that, people who live in the great outdoors can. You just have to make them smaller, bring them into your own space in the best way you find possible. And I really plan on doing that. This book really inspired me to start a garden. If you watched my I lost 3 animals in 11 weeks video, we lost our bearded dragon, and we wanted to get a new one, but it's just not feasible right now. We just can't afford it. But I don't want my bearded dragon's tank, mine and my boyfriend's bearded dragon's tank, to just gather dust in a closet. And this inspired me to make that tank into a garden. It already has the ability to have UVB lights put into it, so we just have to continue putting those in. And I have this whole setup in the tank now of things I want to grow in it, things I want to nurture and love in it, and it's just going to be a little kind of garden to celebrate my bearded dragon even though she's gone. I plan on doing videos about this in the future. It'll probably take a couple of months because we're in the process of moving. So it'll take time, but I'm really looking forward to doing those videos, and it was all inspired by this book. This book also really inspired me to get out into nature more. Unfortunately, even though I live in Montana, I live in like the flatland of Montana, and it's such a big space that to get to really good hiking trails from where I am, it'll take at least 3 hours driving to find something nice. So I've never really been given the chance to go out, find the most beautiful areas, or even not the prettiest areas, but just hiking trails in general, and be able to really like embrace nature. I live in an old person's community basically, where everything's flat, everything looks the same, and there's nothing really pretty around you, except for those few areas that I've been to plenty of times before, you know. So this also really inspired me in Kansas, where even though it's flat, it's much easier to get from point A to point B than here. So I definitely plan on doing more hiking, more like, this really recommends taking a journal with you and like saying, oh, here's this plant. Is it native? What are its properties? Like, just learning about every aspect of nature you can, writing it down to really become one with your environment, really learn about it, and really cherish what's around you. Something I also really liked about the book was it talked all about different herb properties, different essential oil properties, crystal properties. And while I've always been into crystals, me and my mom really like them, I never really thought about like, oh, oregano's associated with this, or thyme's associated with this, and orange with this, or whatever. And I've always kind of doubted that, but with this book, I've kind of come to the realization of, it doesn't really matter if, you know, oregano means prosperity, as long as I think it means prosperity. And I kind of think of it like manifestation, like, I want to be more prosperous in life with money, or my ability to do things, or love, or whatever. And even though maybe oregano or orange or any herbs, just because I have them doesn't mean it's going to do anything. But if I believe in them, if I put intention into them, if I put X, Y, and Z into this satchel, I look at it every time I'm at my desk and feel inspired because I have this thing that means getting to my goal, I think that's really beneficial. So I feel like, sure, maybe herbs and plants and essential oils and rocks don't mean anything, but as long as they mean something to you and me, that's what matters. And so I really plan on taking things from this book and putting them into my normal life. I'm going to make satchels. I'm going to do baths, make my own salts. There are specific recipes in there that look really good, actually. There are things like flour syrups and specialized vinegars and sugar. There are gazpachos and curries and just all of these really beautiful sounding meals and spices and additions to food that I've never considered trying before. And again, even if something like isn't magical, if I put intent into it and I put my thoughts and my hopes and dreams into it, it'll be good to add a little bit of lavender, you know, sugar into tea. And thinking, this tea gives me X, Y, and Z for this purpose. Thank you to the earth for giving me the ability to have this hope in myself and be able to appreciate these herbs and oils and rocks for what they give to me, whether it be magical or mental. And I think that's really important. This book isn't for everyone. There are people who are like, this is all fake. You wasted your money on a book because, science says this, or, the sane person says this, but, there's a reason why women back way in the day were persecuted as witches. And the reason as to why they were pushed out of any medical field. And that's because those women had knowledge of things that the earth could provide. They had knowledge of the things that mindsets and remedies, what those things could do. And those things were power. And so a lot of men pushed women out of those positions because they didn't want them to have power. They didn't want them to be able to help people in these natural ways. Because otherwise, how could they sell them surgery? How could they sell them that only I, this doctor, can heal you, while this person's witchcraft and craziness cannot? You have to demonize someone if you want your thing to be the all-ruling high and mighty, in a way. And this book, The Green Witch, it really empowered me. It makes me feel like a stronger, better woman. It makes me feel like in a day and age where so much is out of your control, it made me feel like I could take some of that power back and embrace who I want to be, embrace the kind of life I want to live, and do it in a earth-loving, natural, beneficial way. I don't know if The Green Witch is going to be the best book for you, but I can say if you are interested in this kind of stuff, I highly, highly recommend The Green Witch. I know for a fact I am going to be referencing this for many years to come, and I hope if you get it, you will too. So, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.